Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-March 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Scorpio collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for Scorpio gang in mid-March? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you could lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio in mid-March. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let this flow. Let's get it going here, please. Usually the cards pop out right away, and there we go. A little bit more of the same. Now, this card in particular is a bit of a double-edged sword because there's a really nice aspect to it, but then there's also one that's not so nice, right? Especially when we see this type of imagery. We have a jester being a puppeteer, playing with puppets. Can you guess some of the themes we might be seeing, my friends? Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this. So looking at the image, again, we have this jester. Looks like they're putting on a show, right? Playing with the little dolls and stuff like that, putting on a little puppet show. In the positive, we'll start with the positive, right? We'll be optimistic. The good thing about this is that it's having fun, it's enjoying itself, and it could represent entertainment. So for some Scorpios out there, if things have been a little dull, a little dry, you've been going through some stuff, maybe Spirit wants you to enjoy yourself, whatever way that might be, whether it's going out or being with friends or doing physical activity or a hobby, whatever it might be. Spirit just wants you to like have fun and enjoy yourself or keep yourself entertained. And watch out for boredom when this card shows up too. That's the good thing. That's the good aspect. But I'm sure a lot of you are already picking up whenever we see somebody playing with puppets and pulling strings, there's certain things that are implied, right? Whether it's situations involving control or some people behind the scenes pulling strings, right? Not saying that you're the puppet or the puppeteer, but whenever I see someone string pulling, it's like, there's more going on here than meets the eye. And Scorpio's usually tuned in on stuff like that. So take whichever one hits for you. We're going to let that puppeteer keep putting on whatever that show is. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Scorpio gang. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled Big Karmic Warning, and it had a lot of interesting nuance to it. A big theme I was picking up was the universe balancing the scales with the situation, but I also strongly got something about you getting proven right, where it's like, oh, there will come a time where it's like, I told you so, or you are proven right about something. So just know that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, but we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Scorpio gang. What do we got in mid-March? Thank you. 3 swords, huh? Okay. No comment just yet. I will comment on it quite extensively, actually. But we're just going to let it chill out for a minute. Let's get a couple more. What do we got here for Scorpio? Okay. Right. Okay. So the energy does a little up and down, right? So we got the Fool in position number 2. It's a little back forth, a little up down. Let's get one more. Let's get one more here. And then, all right, 5 of Wands. So we got the fire-air mixture happening. So yeah, we're going to need to keep a close eye on this one, Scorpio. And for some Scorpios, that might even be the advice from Spirit. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I always like to look at the elements. It tells us how the energy's flowing, and it frames the structure of the reading for us. And elementally, we got 2 main ones showing up. We got a lot of fire and a little bit of air. And you know what I always say when those 2 things mix, fire and air could be add volatility to it. Now, if there is any water sign that works very well with fire energy, it would be Scorpio, right? Mars being one of your co-ruling planets. Scorpio gang works well with fire more so than most. But fire is the realm of action. So whether it's the actions we take, the actions other people take, the actions we want to take, it could speak about energy levels, health, vitality, passion, drive, motivation, desire. So it's that internal combustion engine. The downside to fire is the explosiveness, the volatility, where something could look like it's on track and then it takes a left on you, or just something's a little extra spicy. Nothing wrong with a little spice, right? Scorpio can handle some spice, but we want to keep an eye on it. And then we have the air here on the front. Now, the air speaks about the logical, pragmatic mind. So it's like very strategic, planned out, cut and dry. Here are the facts. This is what it is. It's great for communication and conversation. But the downside to air is that it could be cold, it could be detached, it could be a little mean sometimes. So, like when we get the fire air combination, which could be a little volatile, and then we have like this up, down, back, forth, but this energy that's here, there, and everywhere, of course, it's making me raise an eyebrow like, what's going on here? So let's dig deeper. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, Three of Swords. Now, I'm sure a lot of you recognize this card, even those of you that aren't readers. The Three of Swords is one of the more iconic images in the tarot deck. The three swords cutting through the heart, right? And I always say when it comes to the challenging cards, they're always on a spectrum. It doesn't mean that this is the worst day ever or the worst thing possible. Sometimes the Three of Swords could just be a little anxiety. It could just be a little tense. Maybe you're feeling a little gloomy. This energy could just be a little down in the dumps. Nothing wrong with that. However, this card can also be pretty major, right? It could be a broken heart. This could be someone that's going through a lot of pain. So we do want to dig deeper and see what this is about. Now, the good thing about the Three of Swords is the temporary nature of it. And just like most things in this reality, things are temporary. Things are always changing. And the Three of Swords is like a trial, like a quick trial or a tribulation where it's like, all right, I've gotten through this. So we're going to circle back on it. And again, this could be somebody else feeling these things. It could even be like anger and stuff like that. So we'll see. Now, moving to the middle, as we get this Three of Swords right back here by the amethyst, maybe that'll help it chill out a little bit. Get a little bit of crystal healing there for you. Um, we have the Fool. I like this card. And, I'm a little biased. I have Scorpio and Aries placement, so I like the Fool. Big Aries vibes. Some people also give this to Aquarius. But the Fool is the protagonist of the tarot deck. It's the first of the major arcana. It's new, it's fresh, it's vibrant, it's happy. There's a joyful aspect to this card. It's like very lighthearted, so it's fun. So it's the total opposite of what we have here on the front, where it's like we got some pretty heavy stuff, but then it's totally cool. Everything's light, nothing's wrong, everything is fine. So I like the Fool for that. It's great for new adventures, new journeys, new cycles. Beautiful, super lighthearted and fun. But the downside to the Fool is that it could be a little risky sometimes. Notice the Fool is always about to walk off that cliff, right? And it's got its little puppy saying, no, 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 don't do it, don't do it. So in this time, there could be a lot of urges when this shows up. There could be a lot of acting before thinking on someone's part. I'm not saying it's you, but the Fool can be extremely, extremely spontaneous. So we're just going to place them back there. Now, moving to the very back end, we have a card that is pretty self explanatory. And I always say it whenever it shows up. You don't need to be an expert in tarot to understand what the Five of Wands means, because it's literally just five people beating the crap out of each other with sticks, right? They're going to war, they're going to battle. Now, this isn't all bad. Just like every card, there's two sides to the coin. This is a card of determination. And if there's something Scorpio gang is known for, it's the determination, right? Can't stop, won't stop. When I decide to commit myself to something, I will see it through, and nothing is going to make me quit. So I like it for this. This is energy that's a lot of staying power, whether it's the good times, whether it's the rough times. If I buy in, I'm in. That's one of the best aspects of this card. So I like that there's no quit. However, the Five of Wands could be conflict. It could be a lot of fighting. It could be a lot of problems and situations and just one thing after another after another. So I'm not saying that that's definitely what's coming at you this week. This could just be your pushing through. There might be something here that, you know what, I'm just going to push through it, which in that case, it would be really great. But at the same time, with the fire air combination and the back forth we got going on, we do want to keep a close eye with how the energy is, because there is the volatility. So I want to dive deeper on all of this, Scorpio. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. get a good shuffle here for Scorpio gang. What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Three of Swords. Let's see what that has. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Scorpio, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is that Three of Swords here, please? Why is that Three of Swords here for Scorpio gang? Okay. All right. So we got the Seven of Swords in reverse underneath the Three of Swords. And I'm just going to tell you how this intuitively is hitting me. It's like this is bothering me more than it should. So watch out for anything, situations, problem, whatever it is. That it's like, all right, why is this still bothering me? Or this is bothering me more than it should. Normally, I wouldn't even give a damn. It's like giving me a vibe like that. Now, the Seven of Swords, even in reverse, it's just seeing a different side of something or seeing a different side of someone too. So if we put that other message to the side of something that might be bothering you more than you think it should, or in an unusual way than something normally would bother you, this combination, because the Seven of Swords could sometimes represent the hidden, secrecy. It's the stuff that's underneath the surface, right? Sometimes it could represent untrustworthy people, sneaky type of stuff. So when I see it in reverse underneath the Three of Swords, it's like I'm seeing a different side of you. Like I'm seeing a side of you that I didn't think was there. Or so again, watch out. There could be certain individuals around you where, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? Maybe if it's someone where you've seen a rough side, but maybe you see a good side, right? It's all depends on how we frame it. It doesn't have to be the worst case scenario. But those are the main two things I'm picking up: seeing a different side of someone, and being a little confused by it, or it's just that energy where something could bother you more than you thought it would, or more than it normally would. Like something gets under the skin for some reason. We're going to keep moving. And again, we still have like this volatility with the fire and air all mixed together. It's all good. Scorpio could deal with it, right? Let's get in on this Fool card. Let's see what happens. So why is the Fool here, please? Okay. Pretend. Oh, okay. So we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So notice now we got repeating fives showing up. So it's given me two main things, and I'm just going to put it out there again. This doesn't have to be your energy, but the first thing I'm getting here is like, I'm just going to pretend like everything's fine. Like, I'm going to be quiet for now. I'm not going to let on how bothered I am about something. I'm just going to be a little quiet for the time being. That's initially what I'm getting here with this Five of Pentacles. But then there's also this energy where it's like, I need to distract myself. I need to get my mind off of something. So just know, I know we saw it earlier in the spread where Spirit might want you to do something that you enjoy, do something that'll make you happy, hobby or whatever it is, just something that like could distract your focus. Because the Five of Pentacles, usually in the upright, it's pretty rough, right? Like it's an energy that's like very solitary, lonely, longing. There's a lot of that stuff. Could represent money issues. I'm not going to even go there right now. But the fact that it's in reverse underneath the Fool is like, yeah, it's still there, but I'm going to act like it's not bothering me. So again, whether it is a problem or a situation you're dealing with, it's like I'm putting it on the back burner for now, and I'll handle it another time. So we're going to keep moving. We're going to see what's up. No judgment here. Either that or it's in or that's someone just like trying to not think about it. Like I'm not going to think about it. I'm going to distract myself. I'm going to focus on this. I think that's a good thing, right? Because life is all about perspective. So it's like I'm going to stick to this perspective. But yeah, there's this energy where it's like I know something, but I'm acting like I don't. Odd. Let's go in on the Five of Wands. Let's go in on the Five of Wands here, please. And we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So what? Cool. Okay. Yeah, it's like I'm going to take all these little feelings and I'm going to tuck them in my pocket till the right time, and I'm not going to forget about it. But one day it will be handled, right? Like we got the Hermit in reverse underneath the Five of Wands, and I don't want to say it's like springing a trap because like it kind of gives me vibes similar to that. But you know, speaking of traps, that implies some like scary things, so I don't even want to go there. But usually the Hermit's retracted and pulled back. We got Virgo vibes, like it's quiet, it's private. When it's in reverse, it's coming forward. So like with the Five of Wands, Hermit in reverse, it's like, aha, gotcha. It's like I'm jumping on something. So this suppression, all this energy here in the front, it's like it's getting tucked away in a pocket for later. And it's like, yeah, I'll whip that out when I need it. Definitely watch out for explosive situations, especially with all the stuff we've been seeing, all the mixes, and now with the Hermit in reverse underneath the Five of Wands, where it's like sometimes there's only a certain amount of time you could hold something in. So there could be various situations that intensify out of nowhere, whether it's internal or external. There could be just a lot of stuff popping off. So do with it what you will, Scorpio. Like that's the main vibe I'm picking up from like the whole thing. But yeah, the Hermit in reverse underneath the Five of Wands. This is an energy that is not avoiding. It's like head on into something. So just do with it what you will. I know a lot of times Scorpio like to solve things that way, where it's like, let's just handle it. Let's just talk about it. Let's just get it over with. Let's rip the band-aid off. And that's kind of how this feels on the back end, where it's like, let's just do the thing. Let's just do the thing and get it over with. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. Yeah, so watch out for the explosive situations here. But if you kindly look in the box position, number one, we got the Three of Swords, Seven of Swords in reverse underneath. Like to me, it was two things. There could be something or a situation that's bothering you more than it normally would. And it's like it's getting under my skin. So keep that in mind. There's also this vibe that you may potentially see a different side of somebody, which could also bother you. That's very specific, right? Moving to the middle, we got the Fool with the Five of Pentacles. And listen, I read for a lot of my beautiful fellow Scorpios. There's not a day go by that I don't read a personal reading for a Scorpio. And with the Fool and the Five of Pentacles, yeah, sometimes that is a Scorpio vibe where it's like, you know what? I'm not gonna I'm not gonna attack this right now, but I'm not gonna forget it. Like so that's kind of the energy I'm getting here in the center, where it's like I'm gonna take this thing that's bothering me, I'm gonna tuck it in my pocket for later. So that energy showing up here strong, but there's also this vibe of like one distracting themselves or getting their mind off something by doing something they enjoy. Moving to the back end, we have the Five of Wands with the Hermit in reverse. Boom, that's when the energy springs forward. So again, watch out for explosive situations, things that intensify quicker than they normally would. And then yeah, I have like all this stuff that's been tucked in the pocket finally comes forward here on the back end. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Scorpio gang. What do we got for our good friends? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. So let's get your shadow card. What do you got for us in the shadows for Scorpio gang? There we go. Cool. Yeah, Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is very similar to this Five of Wands, actually. They have a lot of similarities. And we'll talk about the shadow side. The good thing about the Seven of Wands, similar to the Five, is there's no quit, where it's like, I'm going to keep pushing, I'm going to keep fighting. So if you're cross watching for a Scorpio with the Five of Wands and the Seven of Wands, just listen, know if you're looking for a battle, you might find one, because that's just how this feels to me. You know, sometimes people are a little more confrontational. Sometimes people are a little more peaceful. This energy is a little confrontational, especially with some of the stuff we've been picking up within the reading. So beware of that. That's just something to be aware of. The real shadow side of the Seven of Wands is an energy of feeling cornered, feeling trapped, feeling like you left me no choice. So if there's any situations that are making you feel cornered, trapped, or you have no choice but to do X, Y, or Z, then that should be ringing some alarm bells for you, Scorpio. That's just how this feels to me. So watch out for that trapped prison type of feeling too. So we're going to leave it at that. Scorpio gang, that's what I got for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the March subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight into your situation and you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The March calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the March subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 subscribers to win either a copy of the Everyday Witches Tarot, beautiful deck, or handmade crystal pendant, which I showcase at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments What zodiac signs do you get along best with? Which ones are your favorite? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.